Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Clutter. I'm your host, Margo Staten, a professional organizer specializing in chronic clutter. Today, we're tackling something that hits so many of us, especially when we are just starting out on our decluttering journey, and it is the dreaded guilt. Whether it's that sweater from your mom you never wear, the expensive gadget you never use, or your kids' old art projects, guilt has a sneaky way of keeping us stuck. Let's be real. So often we hold on to things not because we love them, but because we feel bad letting them go. Maybe you worry about being wasteful, disrespecting a gift, or hurting someone's feeling. Sound familiar? Well, in today's episode, we are going to unpack it together, and my hope is to help you at least part with some of those guilt-energized items. So before you even begin to make the decision about the item, I want you to first try to ask yourself the following question. Why am I feeling guilty about this item? Is it the money that you spent on it? A sense of obligation to the person who gave it to you? Or maybe it reminds you of a different time in your life. Identifying the source of your guilt is key to moving past it. If you spent a lot of money on it, I remember I once bought, it was probably the most expensive lotion I've ever owned, actually a facial moisturizer. It was like $72 or something. And I remember I was just like, oh my God, I want this so bad. And finally I saved up, I got the item, I tried it on my face, and it was just not good for my face at all. It did not make me feel refreshed. It just was not working for my complexion. And I held on to it, I kid you not, for like a year, willing myself to one day use it, knowing damn well that I never would. The guilt came out of spending the money. And what I realized is, like with so many other items, right? There's a lot of scenarios like this where we bought something, we thought we were going to use it, we thought we were going to love it, and we didn't. But at the end of the day, the money has already been spent and you can't get it back. And I want you to pause for a minute and think about and really prioritize yourself in this moment. Think about that item. Think about that item. And I'm sure every single one of you listening knows exactly what I'm talking about. You all have that one item, if not many items that you spent money on that is just sitting in a drawer or on your counter or in a cabinet. And every time you see it, there's a pang to your heart where you're like, oh my goodness, the amount of money that I have spent on it. What is it causing you to hold on to the item? Every single time you look at that particular item, such as when I looked at that lotion, it brings back memories of pain and guilt and money wasted. You are much more important than an inanimate object. To allow yourself to really be put in the position where items, things that have no feelings, by the way, right? Other than those we assign to them, having an item make you feel bad. I promise you that if you decide, if you choose, and it is a choice, I'm not telling anybody to get rid of anything that they don't want to, but if you choose to prioritize yourself, if you choose to let the item go, maybe you'll be regretful for a day or for 2 or for 3, and it's going to sting a little bit, right? After a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you're not even going to remember that you had the item. If you're holding on to items out of gift, maybe your mother-in-law gave you something, right? Maybe it was an ugly lamp or some kind of trinket or something, and you're like, oh my goodness, there's no way I am displaying this. There's no way I'm going to wear it, but it was a gift and you feel obligated to hold on to it. Don't. More often than not, unless you have one of those mother-in-laws that every time they come over your house, they're going to be like, let me see the gift that I gave you, in which case, I'm so sorry. But more often than not, people are not going to request to see the gift that they got you, right? And at the end of the day, again, what is it costing you to hold on to all of these gifts knowing that they serve no purpose and no function in your home other than to clutter it? Now, if it's an item and maybe it has sentimental value, not necessarily for the purpose of usage, then that's perfectly fine. You're entitled to keep sentimental items, but sentimental items in their own way should not guilt you. We tend to also hold on to a ton of things for the person we used to be. It's as if we're in mourning, right? I encounter this a lot when it comes to wardrobe, especially when I'm working with families. Maybe you were somebody before your kids that enjoyed going out, right? Maybe you were somebody that, would put on heels and cute dresses and outfits and all of that stuff. But now you're a mama of 3 and you love your loungewear. You love your loungewear. You are not putting on high heels. You're just not doing it. And if you do, you do it once in a blue moon, and one pair of stiletto pumps will do. But we can feel so guilty. Oh my God, what if when the kids are older, I might need this clothing, or I spent so much money on this particular wardrobe. Again, if you are not wearing the clothing, if it is really hurting you, right? If it's taking up valuable closet space, I want you to really focus on yourself and kind of get into the habit of letting go of items that are toxic, right? There's clutter that's just messy clutter, and then there is toxic clutter. And what the difference is toxic clutter elicits negative feelings from you, guilt, shame, remembering unpleasant memories, things of that nature. Let go of the wardrobe that you no longer wear, right? If you want to hold on to a couple of key items that are maybe timeless, just such as a beautiful black dress, then go ahead and do that. But you don't have to hold on to the entire wardrobe. What really helps is to actually reframe your mindset. A lot of the work that I do with my one-on-one clients is less about the physical act of purging and more about a deep dive into the mindset. Why are we holding on to these items? What do we need to let the items go? It's so easy as a decluttering coach for me to walk into your house with a truck, and just clear out your entire house and just purge things and put things in garbage bags and boxes and clear out all of that clutter. That part of it is super easy, but it's not effective because unless we understand why we have the clutter, unless we go through a series of mindset shifts, what's going to happen is we're just going to accrue the clutter all over again. So when it comes to guilt, instead of seeing decluttering as getting rid of something, you can try seeing it as freeing the item to serve someone else. This is why I'm incredibly big on donating and giving away to friends and family. I think this is something that's really important, especially if you have feelings of guilt. The sweater you never wear, someone else might love and use it. When you let go, you're giving the item a second life and freeing yourself from unnecessary emotional weight. Now, I completely understand that there is a variety of items that we cannot necessarily donate. But if you're somebody that has a lot of items that are guilt-driven and guilt-charged in your home, start focusing on the ones that you can potentially donate. The next thing, and it's really, really, really important, and it is to give yourself permission. You are allowed to release things that no longer serve you, even if they were gifts, even if they were expensive, even if they belong to someone special. Your space, remember this, should reflect who you are today, not just your past. It is absolutely okay to thank an item for its role in your life and then let it go. And I mean this literally and figuratively, right? There are some of my clients will actually outwardly thank the item for its service and let it go. But it's the same rule that applies. It is okay. You have the permission to let go of the items that don't serve you. It is okay to part with the items that are guilt charged. It is okay to prioritize your health, your mental health, your lifestyle, your well-being inside your home, because every single guilt-driven item that you allow to keep in your home is adding stress, it's adding anxiety, it's potentially making your mental health and your physical health worse. And the beautiful thing about decluttering, and something we can't say about everything in life, is that you are in control of what you keep and what you let go of. Now, I know that at times it might not feel like you're in control. It might feel like those items, that clutter, all that stuff, that clothing, the medicine, the pantry items, the kitchen cabinets, the counter space, it's as if it's controlling you. But I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. There is something so incredibly liberating when we internalize the fact that, hey, these are inanimate objects. I'm in control. I am in control to purge. I'm in control to trash. I'm in control to recycle, to donate, to get rid of things, and to curate and choose what I keep in my home. Now, if you're somebody where you're listening to this and you're like, Margo, I just don't know. Like I can't. I just can't seem to let go of the guilt-driven items. Try this. Create a guilt-free box. Put those tough to let go items inside and give yourself permission to revisit it in a few weeks or months. Often what you will find is that with time and distance, right, out of sight, out of mind, it becomes easier to release them. So if after 6 months you open that box, or maybe you have it in a shed or something outside or in your basement or in your garage, if you then open the box and you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't even remember that this was here. Hopefully that guilt, right, that charge is no longer there on those items because the battery hasn't been charged. You can just let it go. You can let it go. Don't even bother. Don't go through the items. If you did not miss them, because you probably won't because you don't use them, let the entire box go. Decluttering is not about being ruthless. It's about being intentional. And guilt may show up, right? It's completely normal, but it doesn't have to dictate your decisions. When you let go of guilt, you make space not just in your home, but in your mind too. So thank you so much for listening. As always, good luck on your decluttering journey, and remember to be good to yourself.